Hi there, taking a look at the Chapter 7 capstone. Specifically, we're going to review the section of the capstone where it asks us to manage a database. And let's start with Step D. Step D says, enter a database function into cell C8 to calculate the number of apartments that need to be remodeled. And then it gives us a little hint. We can figure out which ones need to be remodeled based on the advanced filter we created already. So I'm going to flip over to Excel and oops, let's pretend I haven't started this function yet. Click on C8. And before we begin, let me just remind you that you have to have steps A, B, and C already done. Step D depends on that. So those earlier steps have you apply the advanced filter. So I have all of that work already done. You can see my criteria up above. And if I look at the database of records down below, they're already filtered. So I'm ready to go. I'm going to click on C8. In the instructions, it tells us we need to count the number of apartments that need to be remodeled. So I know that I can use a count function, and because I have my information in records in a database, I know I can use the D count. So I'm going to start typing DCO. And then it pulls up the related functions that I have available to me. We're actually not going to use D count. We're going to use D count A. And you guys will remember why from earlier assignments, why we have to use that A. So I'm going to select that one from the list. And then Excel is ready for me to enter my function parameters or my function arguments. And the first argument says, Excel asks like, hey, where's your database? Our database is A15 through H65. There it is. Type in a comma. The second argument is asking us, well, hey, what field do you want me to count up? And for us, our field that we can use for counting the apartments that need to be remodeled is this H column, because we've already done that in an earlier step. We already figured out how to display which ones need to be remodeled. So we're going to do H2. Select H2 and type a comma. The last argument to this function is the criteria. Excel needs to know, like, we're not counting all apartments. We're only counting those apartments that need to be remodeled. So we have to identify the criteria, and lo and behold, we can go ahead and use A2 through H4. And then just notice what's happening in my function here. It's replaced the cell addresses with the range name already applied to that area. Hey, that's pretty cool. All right, cross your fingers. Press enter on your keyboard. Hooray! You should have 9 records as the result. As you keep going through the steps, the next thing you'll do is you'll do a database function for calculating the total amount of lost rent. So use dsum. And in the third one there, you need to figure out the year of the oldest remodel. And there's a couple different ways you can do this. I just want to have you think about just one way to do this. You could use dmin, right, to calculate. Think about your date as a numeric value. So there's my little hint for you. If you have any trouble at all, just email me.